Hello, my friends. Today's the second day of June 2019. It is late Sunday afternoon, heading into Sunday evening. And I wanted to just talk to you for a few minutes. First, before I even get into what I want to speak about, I want to ask each and every one of you that watch my video, that follow my channel. I want you this evening, wherever you're at, whatever part of the country, or even if you watch outside of the United States, I want you to pray for this nation, okay? And I want you to pray for our president, because he is under siege at this very moment by the liberal democratic left in this country and their mouthpiece, the mainstream media. He's under constant bombardment. I'm not going to get into all that because I try to really steer clear of that. There's enough channels on YouTube that can fill that need if that's what you're looking for. But I just want to ask each and every one of you, I want to ask every one of my subscribers if they would pray this evening, okay, wherever you're at, even if it's still lunchtime where you're at, this evening, when you are settled in for the evening and you're done, I want you to pray for this president. Just take 1 minute and ask the Lord to protect him. Ask the Lord to guide him, to give him wisdom. And ask the Lord to bring this nation back together. And most important, to bring this nation back to God, which this nation at one time was a very, very godly nation. We were absolutely, without a doubt, a Christian nation, front and center, no question about it. But as we know, the devil has ways of manipulating. The devil has ways of changing. The devil has ways of lying to people, making them believe the most ludicrous things on this earth. We have so many religions today in this country. It's absolutely, it's scary. And I want to briefly touch on one, because I watched a documentary the other night, and it really made me think. I watched a documentary because this past November 2018 was the 40th anniversary of Jonestown. And that was where Jim Jones, who I do not call Reverend because he was anything but a Reverend, had 900, I believe it was 914 people. Some committed suicide, some were murdered in the jungle of Guyana, which is in South America. And every one of those people started out with the love of God. Every one of those people started out loving Jesus Christ and having an acceptance of Jesus Christ. But as time went on, little by little, Jim Jones was able to manipulate their minds and take their minds off of what they should have been focusing on, and that's Jesus Christ. Instead, he started focusing them on socialism, on communism, and eventually, when publications started printing things that were going on behind the scenes at his temple, that's when he cut and ran and took almost 1,000 people with him down to the Guyanese jungles, just maybe an hour or two outside of Georgetown, which is the capital of Guyana. But my point is, this is what's so dangerous about these type of people. We have these same type of people this very day. We saw this in 1993 with the Branch Davidians and David Koresh in Waco, Texas. We all know what happened there. I do believe there was some shady things going on both sides. But this could happen when you are not close with Jesus Christ, when you do not have a close walk with the Lord. This type of thing can happen to you. And believe me, do not say it cannot happen to you. When you step back from the Lord and you start embracing this world ideology and start replacing Jesus Christ with the world, which is what the People's Temple and Jim Jones ultimately did, because when Jim Jones started out, mind you, he was a absolute fantastic preacher and was actually on fire for the Lord. But sadly, he got sidetracked with the power, which brings so many men down. So many powerful men have been brought down from that greed of that power, that lust of power, and that's what brought him down. But we see this today. If you do not have a close walk with the Lord, you can easily be sucked into this type of thing. And I do not think for 1 minute that we've seen the last People's Temple. I do not think for 1 minute we've seen the last David Koresh. They're out there right now. They may be not as popular as those two cults, if you want to call it that, which is probably a fitting word for those two groups. There's groups out there right now. My friends, that is why I emphasize on my channel every day, every time I make a video, that you must stay close with the Lord, because you can easily be distracted. That's what I've been telling you. That is the devil's game. His game is to divide, okay? To divide and then to conquer. That's the devil's game. That's what he's about. He's about pulling you as far away from Jesus Christ as he can. That's his job. His job is to get you into hell. That's his job. His job is to get you distracted off of Jesus Christ, which is exactly what these people did. Now, the sad part that I was talking about when I first started speaking about this, when I watched this documentary on the People's Temple and the 40th anniversary, this doc was 5 or 6 months old, but it's just November was just the 40th anniversary. They interviewed a lot of the ones that had defected, meaning they had gotten out right before all these people had lost their lives. And every one of them, I noticed in the interview, cursed, used profanity. Every one of them did not want anything to do with Jesus Christ, did not want anything to do. Matter of fact, many of them don't even believe in God anymore, don't believe in heaven, don't believe in any of that. You see, that's how their minds got so perverted, okay, that 40 years later, when they are now up in their 60s and 70s, okay, they're getting up in age, their beliefs are completely the opposite of what it was years before they even met Jim Jones. That's the sad part about it, that they are coming to the end of their time on this earth. And they're so bitter, and they're so filled with hate, that they have completely turned their backs on the Lord. And I think after watching that, after seeing all of that horror and all of that absolute just heartbreaking scenes of the children being given the poison, and hearing, Jim Jones in the last hours talking to these people were spending their last minutes on this earth, even though all of that was absolutely just nerve-wracking and terrible. I think listening to these people that were able to make it out of that jungle 40 years later, and listen to the way they talk, and the hatred that's built up in them against God, it's sad, because the one thing they're overlooking is Jesus Christ is the one that can actually heal them of all that hatred. Jesus Christ is the actual one that can remove all that pain and all that hurt from them. But sadly, they've turned their back on the one person that can help them, and that's Jesus Christ. I just don't know what else to say on that subject. It's just a sad, sad subject that people just can get pulled into things so easy. If there's the point that I want to make, it's the point, my friends, that these days and times you have to You have to watch out. You have to be careful. Please be careful. Stay close to God. That's all I got for you this evening. Take care. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.